Hey everyone, so hope everyone has been having a really good week. Last week when the market has been trading into the 383 close for pretty much 3-4 weeks in a row, right? So the market was in consolidation and you can clearly see accumulation. Now, when you see Tesla drop, if you look at past history, every single time that Tesla stopped dropping, it's signifying with 40% year-over-year growth, it's actually pretty much like a growth stock compared to the S&P 500. So I thought that, okay, on December 30th, 29th to the 30th, I was starting to say, hey, let's get Tesla, the reversal, get Netflix, but let's also look at growth stocks. So the first one that came into mind was MSTR because this one has such a small float and huge growth potential. Now, how do I find things like this at the exact bottom? Is first of all, you have to watch the stock and then you have to estimate, okay, where do you think the support is? And I'm going to teach this in the next class, which is on my Fibonacci trading. But since we don't have time today, I'm going to teach you guys how to search for some of the best long-term growth opportunities and how we can multiply our accounts and make sure that if you didn't take advantage of that first COVID run, you know what? Here's your chance to make sure that you invest long in some of these oversold companies that have huge future growth potential so that your thousands or hundreds of thousands become millions by next year. So here is what I do. Here is MSTR, how did I know that on this date, the 12/30, that the tier, okay, so this is first my call out. I think it's my friend. I'm like, MSTR is all crypto BTC. And look where it went. It went right to my Fibonacci line. If you can see it closer, right? Was here. Is literally at the bottom, right? And what I did was I went all the way back to pretty much its existence. Not even like that. I went to the max from where it started. And then I drew this thing called a fan. But considering, it stayed along this trend line and all it did was retrace right back to it. So I was watching these and waiting, okay, let me see what happens. Because last time I bought it here too, I bought it also here. I used to make about 100,000 a day on this. But, after it came down, I bought it here, went to 350, also came back down. So we're back again at the same spot. So where do you think it could go? At least 250, 260, right? Then the next spot would be 365. So how do you find some of the best ones to get into? Is what I do is I tell the community, hey guys, I look at the float, which is the shares, and the smaller the float, the bigger the move, because like small caps that you trade, it doesn't take much volume to move it $1. So if you can find bigger moving price points that have a lot of volume, but it has a huge move because enough capital is invested in these, then you can see some huge moves. So MSTR is one of them. And how you can check is looking at the long-term options. So when you look at long-term options, what happens is it will tell you the expected move. Now at that time, look, MSTR was 137 and January 25 was at 498, right? Now look at MSTR. MSTR, the January 25, is showing a $700 move. So this means the compounded multiple of growth is exacerbating, growing faster and faster. So your options premium starts increasing faster and faster on the long term. Now, not just this is, okay, I'll make a watch list and figure out which ones do I want to get, right? So you guys have seen, partial of my watch list, and it has some of the best companies that grow pretty fast, right? And here is partial of it. And today you can see what grew are all the growth stocks, right? Like BBBY, FUV, AMC, Salvo, Lucid, IRNT. The list goes on. So what you can do is create like a multi-chart on it. Put in some of your favorites so that you can see the trend of how they move together. On top of that, how do you filter out which one is going to be the best one, right? We're going to go to each, don't be lazy, okay? We have to go through each and every one of the growth stocks that we want to possibly invest in, right? So what I do is this process. I look at the one I want, and then I make myself a mental note. Okay, let's check BBBY. And then I'm like, okay, for this price point, in 2 years, right, January 25th, they're expecting 18 points. Now that's like, what, 5 times growth, right? Okay, 5 times not bad. MSTR, 195 at maybe, okay, remember what I showed you? Here, it was showing, what, $500? But the faster it moves, the bigger the expected move also grows. So if you saw my previous class on costing, you can see why, because you're going to be adding the at the money call, at the money put together. But as implied volatility increases, it also multiplies with the Vega and adds on top of your options premium, making the expected move bigger because at the money call, at the money put increases, you add those together, put that on top of the current price, and it will give you the expected move, right? So I'm looking for these like faster growing long-term positions. So now it has like, okay, like 3.5, 4, like X growth. That's pretty okay, but before it was a little bit higher. So let's look at Mara, right? I've been keep talking about Mara. Mara has like a 6 times growth. So crypto miner, again, Mara, this is a good one. And then I said also UPST. So, okay, this has like maybe 2x growth, not as bad. Like still good. So do you get it? So like FUV. Okay, this one, okay, it's too small, but then why not get the shares? JKS. Now this is a China energy company. 58, okay, it's not as big, but at least there's some potential. So this is the process that I do. I literally go one by one and pick it. Like I do the work. I go down and then I tell everybody, hey, get this, get that, right? Like Unity, right? I told everybody get Unity. So, you know, it does take some work, but you know what? Through that work, you're going to be getting these multiplications on your P&L. So I hope this helped determining which ones are going to be having really big growth. Now, this is another thing I look at. Besides the growth, you also have to look at, do they have actual like real financial backed growth potential? Is you have to look at their free cash flow and forward PE. So their PE currently has to be low, the price to earnings, but the forward PE is the optimism of the future in the growth potential. Now, just because they have the potential to grow doesn't mean that they can grow if they don't have any money to back it up, right? That's why you need free cash flow. So the key indicators are what? Huge expected growth in the forward PE with high forward PE, low PE currently so that you know, okay, this is kind of oversold now, right? And then look on the options chain, what's the multiplier, right? On the future expected move, and make sure that if they have some potential, that they have some cash to back it up. So hopefully this helped. Do you pick on what to pick for yourself, how to scan, and last key, 25 delta is the expected move. So just if you don't know which strike to get, the first tip is look for the 25 delta to swing. Let's make sure, bless someone, share this with somebody, share this knowledge so that they can grow their accounts too. If you want to come trade with me, you could always come to my community, and let's make sure that we take this opportunity and multiply our accounts. Be a blessing to others, and God bless you. Okay, I love you guys. Bye. See you again next time.